Sorry about that, I was on mute. So for those of you who are on now, we actually lost connection. We're waiting for Paul to come back. So just give us a few minutes. As soon as he's back, then we'll start again. We're going to mute ourselves in the meantime, okay? So just hold tight.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
We're good. We're good, Paul. We're good. So we're gonna go back on mute, and you can continue. Sorry about that. We have about 15 minutes. If you don't need to rush, go through. Appreciate it. Thank you, though. We got to get it right, and we were discussing, and while you were out, we were discussing about reason why I thought you were just such a valuable thing that you're trying to do for us in terms of that experience that's brought forward in terms of actually getting it. We understand that, you know, the customer facing, etc., but actually walking through and getting it right in terms of practical experience is something we fall down on. So please continue.
So you have to understand my history is as a kid, I always had a business on the side ever since I was 8 years old. And so I'd go to school to pull information out of school to help me with my business. And every question I had was like, how is this going to help me push this forward? So when we created our different programs, they're identified to push. There's no fat. Every concept in there is designed to kind of help you push the bar forward and move forward in your process. So as you're generating questions through the process, please ask me, and I want to make this content better and make it work for you. So let me jump back in and do a screen share. And William, flip it around so I can see. So let me know. So you guys should be looking at yourself right now. Okay, great. Okay. All right. So the next area is, so the canvas is going to be asking you questions that might be uncomfortable, or you may not have thought of before. It's to kind of prick your memory here. So, what types of innovation do you have? It is not acceptable to not have one or more types of innovation in your startup. Innovation gives you a sustainable competitive advantage. And so, if any of these concepts aren't comfortable to you, there is detail in the book, Nail It and Scale It. So each one of you will be getting a copy of the book, Nail It and Scale It. And then also the class itself has this. The next area said, do you have domain expertise to solve the pain? I'm going to briefly share with you a picture to remind you of why this is important. So the first question on innovation is, my definition of innovation is the intersection between invention, you came up with a new idea, better mousetrap, and market insight. How are you going to market, place, position, promote? How's the customer going to consume that new invention? So that's innovation. So just because you came up with something new does not mean you have an innovation. And one of the more important concepts that I've learned over the years is that This is talking about customer market fit right on the right, connecting to that innovation. The next question on the canvas asks about this question about your core competency. We do core competency-based investing. If you do not have a deep domain expertise in this area, you better go get somebody who does, because you're not going to raise venture capital unless you do. The sunflower model was built by a guy named Rob Ryan. You might not know the name, but he has created 4 back-to-back billion-dollar companies without any failures in between. The first one he did was a switching company that he took public and sold for $24 billion. His second one was a company called Right Now Technologies. What was super interesting about Right Now, he did it in Bozeman, Montana. You think you're in the middle of on an island? This place is in the middle of nowhere, and there are more moose and elk and deer in Montana than there are people. But they built a company that they sold to Oracle for $1.5 billion, and had to bring the talent in from all over the United States to come to Bozeman to build the company because they didn't have the talent there locally. And so the question around this is, after you figure out your product market fit and you figure out this is a sufficiently large or rapidly growing market, then you ask the question, do I have the domain expertise internally to go build this? And another way of asking this question is, what can we, an interesting way of doing the exercise, and a friend of mine, Paul Pilger, does this. He said, what am I really good at? What is my domain expertise? And then he goes through an exercise of optimizing what you're really good at with what the market wants, and connecting the dots there. But that core of your core competency, then you ask yourself, which markets and products can I leverage my core competency into? All right, so that's, I think I just froze. Yeah, I'm getting the little wheel of death here. So let me stop sharing for a second. All right, Bill, have I stopped sharing? Okay, let me go back into share mode and jump. So it's probably Google's telling me to move faster is what it's telling me. Okay, moving forward on this. Let's get through this and we'll get to the class. All right. The next concept here is, how am I going to enter the market? And your market entry strategy revolves around who your customer is. So as you enter the market, you want to understand what's the cycle the market is in as you're entering the market. Is the market in its early stage growth, maturity, decline? Who are the current market leaders in this segment? Are you competing head-to-head with an existing market leader? Do you have access to distribution channels? So these six areas right here are the most often asked question that I get from entrepreneurs saying, how do you enter the market? So I'll go through them briefly. Number one is the face punch. You're going head-to-head for the same customer in an existing market, competing with basically the same value proposition. This is guaranteed failure. You're duking it out on commodity pricing, but you have nothing new to offer the customer. The second is called the bolt-on strategy. I'm extending the value proposition. I'm building on top of somebody else's platform. So you're gonna build on top of the Facebook platform, or you're gonna build on top of the Salesforce.com platform. And so you're leveraging an existing market and a distribution channel, which is fine. But realize that you're building on an unstable platform because that company can shut you off at any time. The next area is greenfield. I'm creating a brand new category. As opposed to generating a disruptive play, I'm creating like the bicycle, the soda pop, the You're creating a new category of stuff. Upon new category creation, that is very expensive to go create that. It's possible. Larry Ellison created the relational database, but this is an area that's difficult. So realize this is a great place to do it, but you're going to have to educate the market on the need for this. Geographic. Taking something that has worked in the United States and bringing it to the Caribbean. Airbnb or something like that. Now, a lot of these companies can go global, so Uber and Airbnb are going global, so you can't really take that. But one area that's awesome for geographic innovation is the financial technology services sector, fintech. Because the finance technology sector works on a market-by-market basis, and so you have to go get the local regulations to approve it. So you can take a peer-to-peer lending platform that worked in the United States and tropicalize it for the Caribbean. Very good idea. Disruption. This is the most likely area where you're going to innovate. If you look at, so I'm going to do a force quit on my PowerPoint and come back to that. So if you look at the marketplace on disruption, these are often the low-end, unloved, underserved customers that are not being currently served by the existing marketplace. It's a great place to enter because the market has already been educated on the need for your product. It's great. But what they haven't done is there's a segment that's just totally unserved. So let me give you a visual picture of what it looks like to go after a disruptive market. I guess I can't. We'll have to skip this because for some reason my PowerPoint is frozen. It's weird. Okay. Okay, we'll have to come back to that. Okay. Last area of the canvas is exit. At the end of the day, is anybody going to buy your product or company? Does it pass the who cares test? And the reason why we asked this question in the beginning is we've never sold a company to somebody we were not already working with. So if you want to sell a company, you have to have some kind of a business development relationship with them that is already existing. So on day one, create a map of all the people that could buy your company. Identify all the potential partners and strategic alliances. Those are the individuals that could potentially buy your company. So is there a question there? Did it freeze? Okay. All right. All right, so that's the big idea canvas. As you go through this, save your canvas. It will automatically generate your hypothesis. All of the questions that you entered get automatically input into the hypothesis generator. This is listed in the book Nail It and Scale It, and so we created a tool to generate this hypothesis. From this hypothesis, this is we're giving you a free tool. This is something that IBM is using globally for their entire IBM design thinking platform. There's 25,000 users at IBM that will be using this. So then we give you a score, but don't worry about the score. It's not that big a deal. Then click on the button below, and it will upload. It will automatically generate your whole canvas for you, and then it will upload it into Mural. Give me 2 seconds here, and we're going to show it's generating the online mural and is dropping it in. So here it says create your mural, S2, and create the mural. Okay, there you are. Now this is an online live collaboration tool. You can go grab a sticky note, drop it in. We can go grab a website, Startup Jamaica. Is anybody in the class on this sheet? We can drop a graphic in, and all of these graphics are live. What this is this is a canvas for you guys to paint with and create your startup. This is a company that came out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. We invested $35,000 into this company to go create an environment for design thinkers and entrepreneurs to go collaborate and create their business. So we're going to give you this for free for 6 months as you're going through the program. There's different templates you can use, design templates. If you want to drop in your whole business model canvas, go for it. I'm going to move this over here, there. And so if you're going to fill out your canvas, you can actually generate your entire business model canvas using this platform. It's really simple, and it was literally designed with these concepts in mind. So you can put your hypotheses in for the different sections. So the big idea canvas is not meant to be competitive to the business model canvas, but to be honest, this was a little confusing, right? You're looking at a blank canvas and you're like, what do I do with that? We distilled some of the key questions into a Q&A format and pulled it in to get you started on your hypothesis that gets you down the road. And the reality is you're generating a lot of hypotheses. Your first hypothesis is your pain hypothesis. Your second hypothesis is your potential of the market hypothesis. Your third is your potential solution. Your fourth is your market entry strategy. Your fifth is who's going to buy you. These are just guesses. So you can then take these hypotheses and then drop it in and start testing these and come back and iterate and move that through the process. So let me share with you a canvas of a guy that's done a lot of work on this. And so this is a guy that won the 3rd place in the International Business Business Challenge, Big Idea Canvas, sorry. So here's his canvas, and his idea, it's called Intel Agent, and the idea is analyzing a lot of unstructured data and using crowdsourcing to synthesize and use to better understand and organize the data. Okay, that was his idea. What I loved about what he did is you can see there are 7 people that have been invited to his canvas. So he's got a team of people that are working with him thinking about this. And then he's identified pain of the customer, hypothesis number 1. Number 2, potential of the market. Pulled out the information. And he's gone through the canvas and identified the different hypotheses and pulled in market information. This is a website on the internet, and I can double click and it will take me to the source information on that website. So, or it could be a graphic off of a hard drive. Now, with this, the team can then add sticky notes, and you can get this canvas gets as big as you want. You have a lot of workspace to work with. Down here, he took these ideas and he dropped it onto a business model canvas. And that started driving the process for his startup team to work on his idea. So you can basically, then he put his mock-ups here, and now he's got a place for his team to go and have interesting conversations. What's very cool about this is then you can put concepts and ideas. You can create a new canvas and have a voting session, and you can put your ideas up there, and different people can come in and vote and have an interesting debate around the different ideas. All right. So let's jump forward now to the next step. Now that you have gone to the big idea, so can I show by a raise of hands everybody that's going to commit to use the big idea canvas? All right, raise your hand if you're not. All right, so looks like we have a show of commitment. I will commit to help you guys if you guys will use the tools. Here's the next step. Now that you have generated your canvas, go to the bottom of the Big Idea canvas, and there's a class called the Big Idea Accelerator. This is so the #2 entrepreneurship university in the United States is Brigham Young University. William, who's here with us, took the entrepreneurship class at BYU, and then from Dr. Nathan Furr, my co-author, and then he created a course called this Big Idea Accelerator course. Okay? You guys have access to this course for free. So go to the course right now. I'm going to just unplug this for 1 second so you can hear Nathan Furr, in his own words, talk about why he created this course. And this is one of the top entrepreneurship professors in the world. He's teaching right now at NCI University. So let me see if you guys can hear him.
Do you have an idea? Do you want to find an idea for something new? Do you want to change a problem that you see around you? Or get involved with something new and build something big?
Can you hear this?
If you want to be an entrepreneur,
Thumbs
I'm
up.
glad you're here. Welcome to the course. I'm Professor Nathan Furr. In this class, we're going to be talking about what's the best way to turn an idea into a reality. Now, you may say, I think I already know what to do. But I'll just warn you, we've been teaching entrepreneurship for some time, and we've come to realize that often the things that we intuitively think are the right things to do may be good things, but we do them in the wrong order. For example, when entrepreneurs get a new idea, they often think, my first step is to start building it so I have something to show to somebody or to start selling. But actually, that may be the wrong thing to do first. Instead, you need to understand, what problem am I actually solving? And get really serious about, well, what are the guesses underneath this idea and how could I test them quickly? In this course, we're going to lay out for you both the process to be an entrepreneur and the traps to watch out for. How can you make sure that you're being intellectually honest with yourself, that you're not just getting tempted by the potential chance of earning some money or making a big change in the world, that you're really looking closely at your assumptions? We're going to walk you through how do you deeply understand what's the pain that you're trying to solve, and then how do you use a series of prototypes to match a solution that exactly solves that problem so much that customers start to beg you to use it. And then how do you figure out how to communicate with those customers and wrap a business model that's sustainable around that? We'll cover all those topics and try to give you chances to practice and to use these skills to build your own business. I hope you'll give it your all, and I hope that you will apply these, because I promise you that we can teach you a way to be a better entrepreneur. We can teach you how to more quickly, cheaply, and efficiently determine whether your idea has some merit to it. Now, I want to warn you up front, don't get discouraged if you find out you were wrong. In fact, because we're operating under uncertainty, most of the time our guesses will be wrong. That's totally okay and normal. We just need to learn to adjust, or what we call pivot, based on what we've learned, to a new problem, a new solution, or a new business model. We'll teach you how to do that as well. And in the end, we believe that you will find something that's valuable, find a way to turn that value into something that you can share with others, whether it's a new business, a new service, a new organization. I'm looking forward to the journey, and I'm looking forward to you changing the world. Thank you.
So to give you some motivation, I am going to personally give 100,000 Jamaican dollars to the group, the team, that has the most effective use of the Big Idea Canvas uploaded into Mural. 1, and 2, that is progressing through the course. And so the judge is me, the cash is coming from my kids' college fund, and I will personally give 100,000 Jamaican dollars to the team. You guys can split it among the team. You can buy yourself a nice dinner at Scotchy's or maybe a few dinners at Scotchy's, right? Or invest it into your startup, or do whatever you want to do with it. It's yours to do. It's not an investment. It's just a gift to the team. So I will go in, and what you guys are going to have to do is share the canvas with me when you're ready. And my email is paul@altaventures.com. And so we'll hold a mini competition within the team. Bill is going to put up a special web page that we'll share with Mark that will give you the details for the team competition. Nobody else in the world can do it. It's just this cohort for Startup Jamaica. And we'll generate additional competitions over time that will allow you to learn why you're moving towards a goal. So what you're looking at on the screen right now is the class. This is a curriculum that was built on the Nail It and Scale It methodology. It was originally generated by Nathan Furr at BYU. It is a course, you can blow through this in a couple of days if you just want to go click next, next, next. My recommendation would be go through the course, get the the design theory here is get your team using the same language, so you guys are able to use the tools, the startup tools, and get the same curriculum, the same language. You can go through, listen to it, watch the videos, read the text. Then after that, my recommendation is to take the course, go step by step through the course. So for example, to get the most out of the accelerator program, this is step number 4, you need to identify a startup idea that you'll be committed to taking through the Nail and Scale It process. The size or scale of the idea doesn't matter, but you'll be working hard on this idea for many weeks. So be sure that it's an idea that holds your interest for that period of time. Okay? So you've already done that. You're already working your idea. You got accepted into the program. Next. And so the first step is to make sure that you have a project you're going to take through. As you move through this project, the first 3 units are giving you background information. Why entrepreneurs fail, Unit 1. The talking about the concepts of innovation and risk, Unit 2. Unit 3 is the laboratory that you're working in, and this is really important. This gives you tools to help you avoid the common traps that entrepreneurs fall into. And it helps you be intellectually honest in your startup process, because we tend to lie to ourselves, and it's one of the bigger challenges. Number 4, all right, so those first 3 are getting you ready for the process. Number 4 is where it starts. And it starts out with nailing the pain. So it teaches you the concepts of nailing the pain. Let me go full screen on this. There's some videos to support this concept. Vinod Khosla talks about it, one of the top investors in the world. It talks about where we are in the process to nail the pain. More support from Scott Cook, the CEO of Intuit. And you talk about the concept of pain, and more support in videos and reading. The book supports this, and the videos support the content. Remember in the big idea hypothesis worksheet, the big idea canvas, the very first quadrant is the monetizable pain. This talks about the monetizable pain hypothesis. And then this is where you go to the canvas and create your monetizable pain. As we talked about before, the entire canvas will then generate your big idea hypothesis. So all of the work you're doing in the canvas will kick out for this customer who has this problem, this product and category does this good thing for you. Unlike our competitors, our solution does this, this, and this, our differentiation. So it's a formula that was generated by Jeffrey Moore, and I used this when I generated my startups. So the first step is the pain hypothesis, but everything pieced together generates your big idea hypothesis. I don't care if you think you have completely nailed it. I promise you that you will learn by going through this process. So this is the online mural that gets created, and then we give you examples of other people that have used this to create the hypothesis for their business. All right? So lots of education around the hypothesis. Now that you get your hypothesis, let's get out of the building and let's start testing this thing. So we can start dropping this into our canvas. Remember, how many people, by show of hands, have built a business model canvas? Okay, put your hands down. Thank you. How many people thought this was confusing, by show of hands? Oh, come on. I thought this was totally confusing. So for me, it was like, really? What? I don't get it. How does this work? So what we're trying to do is, with the big idea challenges, there's an order and a process. And what Steve Blank missed and all the other programs missed is, what is the order and the process that you go through to get this right? And so you can do a lot of stuff, but it's confusing, right? Because they don't really talk about what do you do first, second, third. It's all just thrown up there. And so what we're going to help you do is take through what we think is the order and the process. And so it's important to throw it out there. Great. Now let's go figure out what do we need to do next. And so we're going to take you through some tests and programs to take you through what happens next and what happens next. All right. So this whole section is set up to test your hypothesis and your assumptions. Great. Now that we're doing that, we're going to work on getting the minimum feature set of your product. The minimum feature set is not the minimum viable product. These are the features that you think will go into the minimum viable product, and then you're going to use that through a series of conversations to test it. Okay? From your minimum feature set, and you've got that figured out, now we go and work on the prototypes. Now you're creating a PowerPoint presentation or physical prototypes. The theory behind this is, if you start building something, you fall in love with it. Whether it's Frankenstein or Mona Lisa, you don't know, because it's your baby and my baby ain't ugly. So there is a danger to start building before we have done our testing early in the process. A lot of people say, well, the lean process, just build it. But human nature is, we stop listening when we start building. When we raise money, we stop listening even more. And so I have successfully taken many companies through this process and built many successful companies. And if you follow the process, you're going to have a higher probability of success. Even though you've already thought you're already at the end of this process, let's do it just a test, okay? Just humor me and say, maybe I might have done something wrong or missed something along the way. And we'll go back through and test our assumptions through the process. Now that you've got your minimum feature set nailed, and now you're into nailing the solution, you got your customer pain, you're building this minimal viable product now. Now we're going to do a bunch of customer interviews. When we're doing those customer interviews, it's very cool because we get to go test something else at the same time. We can go test our entire go-to-market strategy. And let me see if there's a picture here that shows this. Bill, will you add an inverted pyramid into this? That's missing. So in the book, there's a market infrastructure map. Let me go to the Nailed and Scale website and show you what this looks like. If you get the audio version of the book or the Kindle version of the book, there are resources on the website under resources for the book graphics. You can download the graphics, which we're going to do right now. And there you go. And these are all of the graphics in my book. Super simple. Let me show you the inverted pyramid I'm talking about. It's right here. This was the tool that helped me build a company from concept to generating a multi-million-dollar exit within 24 months. As you're asking your questions, you can build what this market infrastructure stack. Bill's going to add this concept into the presentation, into the course. But you can go to the website, nailedandScale.com, and get this information. So, briefly explained, at the top is your customer. You are down here at the bottom trying to figure out, how do I influence the purchase decision of that customer? There are levels of influencers that sit between you and your customer. As you are building your company, you need to socialize and get these different influencers on board to help you build a case with that customer as to why they should buy your product. In a simple word, this is called branding. All of the efforts of a branding exercise are compiled into this. And what we've done, we've analyzed what really good branding people do and really good business development people do, and we've put it into tools and a process. I don't have time to go into that today, but I take this tool here. Watch this. I'm going to go take this tool. I'm just going to cut it out of this. Cut. It's now sitting on my desktop. And if this works correctly, let's go to this. I'm going to go grab an image, upload an image from my desktop. Whoops. There's a 50% chance this will work. Okay, voila. Love it. Okay. Okay, so I just grabbed that concept. When I create a startup, I create a war room with this picture in my war room. What I'm giving you is a virtual war room. This is the place where you guys will go and you'll argue the concepts. You'll have different concepts and graphics you're going to talk about. What I do here is I take and I identify for each of the different stages key objectives for each of these stages, and I create an objective. For me, objectives is a measurable, time-bound goal, and identify who are the partners that I need to influence, who are the influencers I need to influence, what are the advertising and marketing vehicles that I need. And I come up with objectives, and then I give owners in my team, and I have this map, and I create 3 objectives for each one of these, and we come back to this, and I hand it to my team members, and we start at the bottom. The company. What are the 4 things within the walls of my company I can do to influence whether this guy purchases up here or not? What are all the things I can do? I can build my product, I can build my website, my brochures, all the things that I can do. Level 2. I need help. Now, who are the people that want to sell to the same customer? So identify all the potential partners, companies that I need to integrate with, resellers, distribution channels, content, and I create all the potential partners that will help me build out my story for this customer. Then the next are the influencers. This is the advertising and the marketing vehicles, the websites, and we don't have time today, but I'll come back and do a session on this that will be I promise you will be really helpful. Okay? Great. So after that next session, you're now testing your assumptions, and you're moving through the process. It's pretty self-explanatory. My recommendation is you just blow through it on your own, so you get the vocabulary, you have the tools, and then as you're running through the process, you're going to be able to come back and go, oh, Someone's going to say, that is section 4, number 5. Oh, that's section 6. We need to go back to section 6 and do the minimum feature set. We need to do section 7, nail the solution, the prototype test, etc. And so you're going to, if you've gone through it, you're going to be able to come back and go, oh, this is where we are in the process, and we're moving forward towards the end of this. All right? So I won't go through any more, but you get it. It's just straightforward, and you start at the beginning and you go through the end. You're going to see at the end of this, I got lazy. There's videos up in the front, or Bill got lazy. There's videos in the front. The end of it is just a lot of text. We have a ton of content that we can start dropping in this, and videos, but the content is still in there, but it's going to be more reading as opposed to sitting back and listening to a video. There are a few videos in the end for those that like to watch TV like I do, but that's it. All right, so let me jump out of that. I think we're at our time limit. One of the things we're adding to this is a way for you to give us feedback inside of the session. How do I stop my screen sharing? There we go. Okay. In the meantime, Bill's email is bill@altaventures.com, and my email is paul@altaventures.com. And if you have specific questions and that you want to get answered, or issues that you need fixed in the Canvas, then I would recommend sending an email to us, and we will address those questions and clarify it. So we will be updating and modifying the class as we go, and making sure it's tailored to work for you guys. Thanks for letting me spend some time with you today. I'll be glad to take questions if you have time now, and if you don't, we can continue. But I'll make some time if you want to ask any questions right now.
They are tired and beyond lunchtime. It's past our 1:30, past their lunchtime. They've been here from 11 o'clock. Paul, I think they just want to they want to go eat. Probably, but I'm sure they'll have lunch. And thank you very much. I'm actually about this, so thank you, Paul. And I'm sure they'll have questions as we go along and asking you directly. The mentor program I actually started on trying to actually get those. I hope you already gotten to your 3 already.
Sure, I'm all over it.
All right, great. Thanks very much, Paul. Thank you, Bill. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
How do we just hang up on Paul? Paul's gone? No, continue broadcast. No, we're not going to end. We have just a couple minutes. You want to respond to that? 2 seconds? If I need to come up here and talk to the other side, that's fine. 2 seconds. If you're facing the other,
Alright, everyone. Alright, so I'm from Mission Creative. Having our second hackathon in June. So the Caribbean. It's over 36 hours. It's on a weekend, June 10th. You should all come out. If you don't want to participate, you should become mentors. We're supposed to have prizes ranging from different sponsors such as Microsoft, Tabform, MIT Launch, Trello, a whole bunch of sponsors that I can't remember. But sign up on the page. There's supposed to be an application as well. We might have to downsize. Originally, it was supposed to be 500. We're going to downsize it a bit. So sign up quickly and then enter the application. Oh, no worries. It's fairly new. So a hackathon, oh, Coders of the Caribbean. Or, well, yeah, just search Coders of the Caribbean. But the URL is code.nextgencreators.com. Yeah, NEXT Gen Creators. So a hackathon in itself is like a coding marathon over, say, 36 to 48 hours or even 24 hours, where you have people from with different backgrounds. So there could be programmers, designers, or idea makers, and they come together in the same space and they curate different curate and hash out different projects that they present at the end. And throughout that entire time, they learn more about different technologies that they can incorporate into their ideas and projects. And at the end, they can also win prizes and surprises. Yeah, and right, and we'll have various workshops throughout the time to teach you how to implement different APIs and different hardware hacks that you might want to do. Yes, so theme. The theme is just general social responsibility. June 10 to 12. No. Just social incorporation of technology. No, there's nothing environmental in that regard. But yeah. No. Just come fresh. You join teams of you can join teams up to 4. So 1 to 4 of you just come together and work on a project together. And at the end, oh, you can pitch your ideas at the beginning. No. I mean, at the very beginning, we'll have like a social gathering for about 30 to 60 minutes. You pitch your idea, and people who like the idea can join your team. Yeah, well, you can definitely come with your teams prior. Oh yeah, the scope is I think we're going for about 14 to 28. That's the age range, more or less. I mean, if you're older, you could. No, I was looking at Mark. No, I was looking at Mark. Yes, so, my email address is nicholas@nextgencreators.com, or just shoot me a Facebook message if you want. Yeah. So this is the biggest one. Microsoft is giving us the top 3 teams $100,000 worth of BizSpark. Yeah, BizSpark and Dream. 100 US. Of startup material and tools that you might be interested in using. But you already have this part. Oh, that's it. I'm happy to do it.
Book, no, the ultimate guide to B2B cold calling. I can email it to me. Cold calling and sales. Yeah, sorry.
This is not a book. This is a workshop.
Stop the broadcast.
Yeah, we can start the broadcast.